What's up, everybody? It's Super Dave back at you again with the PA Political Revolution podcast. And we back at you again to give you another episode. Hopefully this could be a good fun episode. A good fun and fact episode, right? This is gonna be the election aftermath and the first edition of the Crash Dummy Chronicles. I know I've been talking about it for a little minute. Kind of put it out there on the PA Politics 3 group and other forums and on my page. Is that, hey, you got some clowns out here. You have some crash dummies out here, have no clue what they're talking about, making up stuff as they go, and just trying to fool you, trying to fool the citizens into believing whatever their agenda is, right? I'm going to go ahead and expose some of that. I'm going to go ahead and expose some of that and just to show you, what these folks actually are and what they're all about, right? And first, let's go ahead and jump into the District 1 election, right? District 1 election aftermath. Pretty much you had a race with Mr. Willie Bay Lewis, veteran in the local politics game, part of the lawsuit of the Voting Rights Act that actually changed the way how we as a city are represented in local government, right? Back when whites was controlling council, not only living, when whites was controlling council and blacks didn't have a voice in it, he was one of the plaintiffs that actually gave us a voice and fought that momentous case on that, one of the last of a dying breed. And he was against Miss Ingrid West Holmes, a city of Beaumont employee, coming to run for council. Her husband is Bobby Holmes, owned the insurance place off of Woodward Drive, Memorial Woodward. And basically when the first election, on election day, November the 3rd or whatever it was, when the presidential election was, you had a large turnout over there. Mr. Bay Lewis had 1,115 votes. Ms. Holmes had 864 votes, right? After that election, then we had the runoff election. Dropped out of Mike Mason. I forgot what he had. I think maybe 400, something like that. Dropped out of that race. Then just from Mr. Holmes and Ms. Holmes and Mr. Lewis. Now, Ms. Ingrid Holmes ended up winning that case, right? Even though she's not the majority of the citizens' voice, even that's not the majority of the people that came out and voted once, whenever we have these runoff elections and not that many people, know about it or kind of forget due to the national election, you kind of get the majority end up speaking for the minority end up speaking for the majority. And this is clearly that evident of it. She won, but I can't really say that she should be proud of that win. Yeah, she won, but by the minority of the vote. When most of the people voted, she would have actually lost if that would have counted. Now, this was what brings me to why the plurality vote should be the preferred method of voting, just like you do in school elections. That's how it should be done for the city. You have some crazy crash dummies talking about that it's not possible in the city. It is possible. You can just have a charter change with your city and go ahead, and have the citizens vote on it, just like what you do a lot of other things. Don't listen to dummies that's telling you that's not possible in the city, which it is possible, because we do it right now at the school district. So, and one of the good things about the plurality voting, right? You do it one time. You don't have to miss work. Miss work, call in, remember different voting times. You come in the early election and vote in one good time, right? Usually the first turnout is the most turnout, right? A lot of people don't really come out for the runoffs for whatever reason. And I know with the instant time like COVID right now, this is spiking back up at the city, spiking back up in this city. So, people don't really want to be coming out too many times if it's not something they actually want to do or if it's something they have to do. Voting is not sometimes not a high priority on people's, ideas. And we had, well, there's a whole bunch of situations that were not favorable to plenty of voters, especially with the double lines the first time, people came out for it, right, for the presidential, but a lot of people was kind of, tired and exhausted after standing in those lines for, however long, trying to vote both for the city and the county. So, it's just one of the things you have to deal with when you have multiple voting days, and you had the mayor actually trying to change one of the voting days, if I remember correctly, on a council meeting. I believe they was talking about that. They had some rumors to it. I believe it was on the council meeting. I didn't see it, but I was told about it, that he wanted to, change the date. So you have a whole bunch of different issues going on with this election, where the actual plurality voting would be the preferred method. My thing, it'll have everybody's vote, boom, run and do it one time. You know what I mean? So that's why you get the majority speaking on the initial vote, and that should how it would be, held, in my opinion. Oh, another reason for the plurality is, right, like, this time we had an extended race. They pushed it off during the COVID till, November, and then you have runoff elections. So with the plurality vote, this kind of is ideal for people with, not that much money. It kind of bridges the gap with people with a lot of bankroll and the one that you have about 3-4 different packs behind you, right? Because with doing a runoff, right, and runoff normally prefers the person with the more money. The more money to hire more people, get more signs out there, just to do more things. So it's just another step that you have to take in when doing a runoff election. So that's the main reason for that. Whenever we get elected, we want to have people that's actually, we don't want to make it to the highest bidder, right? The idea for certain elections, for local elections, you want to have it as equal and as fair for everybody, regardless of how much is their bankroll. And I think that's something we need to take a look at, because remember Mr. Lewis, right? And traditionally, black folk, poor folk, don't really have a lot of money to spend on races and stuff like that. So, this is normally hurts a lot of minorities and stuff like that, or if you just don't happen to have it. Like if you have a guy with a lot of bank, typically they'll do better during that time. So you want to make that for, the average person is not, because normally the average person that don't have a lot of money is usually the ones that are not bought. Usually, not always, but usually. And also what's going on in the city, right? We have COVID. COVID been running rampant at City Hall, right? Now, if you remember, I broke a story a while back on Facebook when Mayor Boy T didn't want to quarantine when he was in D.C. They were in some kind of meeting. They had, I think, 3 people that tested positive for COVID. I think Mike Getz with Beaumont City Council was out there. I can't remember. I think some people in Beaumont, they may have quarantined or not, but Mayor Boy T, he didn't quarantine over there. And then as soon as their next council meeting, they said something. He had said that somebody got it. I think they all went to rest or break to go get some masks and stuff like that, because they was upset. Hey, how can you be around people with COVID and then you not come back and you not want to quarantine? And then there's also another time when he was around the county judge, right? He was around the county judge, and he didn't want to actually, I think his wife was probably, would been exposed to somebody probably happened or something like that. And, he didn't want to quarantine on them. So it shows, even though he's kind of talking about, quarantining and doing all this to turn down the numbers project that he has, that, from the previous history, he hasn't really been doing all that. So unfortunately, it looks like the culture over at City Hall is not, it's kind of complacent when it comes to COVID. Now, I hope they can kind of turn this around or whatever, but it's hard to stop, but you want to have some things in place where you can just, the best practices, man. You can't, because you have the city manager down. Well, words on the street is you have the city manager down, you have the city attorney sick. We also know the mayor is sick because it's been on the news. So you have top elected officials well, elected officials and also city employees that are down with the virus, right? And you just gotta pray for them right now, and also just hope that the other council members can kind of take up the slack. Now you have 3 new council members, right? 3 brand new, inexperienced council members. Now, ideally, when the city manager's down, you need experienced council members to kind of go ahead and handle some of the citizens' complaints, right? If you have an experienced council member, right, and citizens need something, say, hey, council member such and such, my the water's coming back up in the sink. Can you help me to do something? I called the city manager, nobody answered. I called the office, nobody answered. Can you go ahead and call and try to get something? You call an experienced person, they'll probably know which department it is. Go ahead and go to the department, call them and try to go ahead and get that rectified, especially when the city manager's down. Or, a lot of times, main city manager's down, your assistant city manager may or may not have the answer or know as much as the city manager. So you still have to kind of, preferably you need an experienced council member that can kind of take the slack off the main city manager when he's down, and also the assistant city manager. He's down. We have one right now. He's out of town. He was in the running. He's from out of town. He was in the runnings for the main city manager job, but I think it was a good deal that current city manager hired that assistant city manager. He had a lot of good positives on him. So that was a good move right there, in my opinion. So, right now, ideally, you want to have strong council members to go ahead and help the citizens out right now. If you have some experienced council members, and normally with the city manager, they tell you it's going to take 2 days to find, a couple of days to find out your answer. With the main city manager going, it may take you 4 days to try to find out the issues. Or if they get bogged down with more questions on top of that, there's no telling when you get your answer. The inexperienced council member may kind of forget, but hey, that's what we have right now, and we just have to deal with it, because even though it may not be the people's choice in District 1, we have new city managers. District 1, position 8, with Frank and who we have? Kenny Marks in District 4. So you have, 3 new ones. Now, I've been hearing some complaints, some people from District 4 is, kind of complaining that Councilmember Marks hasn't gotten to him in a fast amount of time. But hey, that's what you get. When you get inexperienced people, you don't really qualify a candidate now. So hopefully we don't see that over in District 1, but, odds are we're probably going to see it. Now, let's see how these 3 new members will do with that. Time will tell with that. Now I'm going to go ahead into the little more fun part of the show, the Crash Dummy Chronicles, right? Now, there's a segment I got on here. We're going to go ahead and talk about a few clowns around the city that's actually doing crash dummy type stuff. They have no clue. Right, in regards right now, you have a couple of media people that's call themselves some kind of media outlet, a media vehicle that's going on out right now, that's trying to make some waves in the political arena. Let me go ahead and kind of give you a little backstory on this right here, including myself. Now, when I got in the game, as far as like being like a political watchdog person, right? I think it was like 2012 when I was working back at the city, right? Working back at the city of Port Arthur. They had a lot of issues going on, treating employees poor work conditions, people complaining about different stuff that, you kind of learn the chain of command. You kind of end up learning that the chain of command goes all the way past your city manager. You end up learning about, hey, this is the council. The council kind of oversees the things the city manager is doing, which the city manager oversees department heads, right? So early on, when I started seeing a lot of things going wrong, I started to speak about it. Started to speak about a lot of things and starting to put it on a group that was called Port Arthur Politics. That's kind of when I met, John Beard for the first time through the PA politics group, and I used to let them know a lot of things that was going on within the solid waste department. You had some racism going on in there. One of the guys pulled over with I think it called somebody a N-word, and they pulled over into the operations center of a truck, whatnot, started chasing one of the guys, right? A lot of them things I'm just letting them know about it, some of the working conditions. A lot of things is going on over there that a lot of people don't know. It's kind of causing the department an inability to provide services to the citizens. And so since then, I started being an avid follower of council, right? I used to start going to council and start letting them know things are going on with the work crew. Got a group of workers together, and then we went to go ahead and talk to the doggone one of the council members. We met at it was at the old YMCA on 9th Avenue, south of 73, around 7th Street. I think it's the old rec center right now, old rec senior citizen center, something like that right now. So we met a group of employees, started letting them know what's going on. We had this guy named Ross Blackett, right? He was the operations manager over there, public works manager. So this guy was incompetent. He was stupid. Really didn't know his job. What it all boils down to, council between the council and department head, right, didn't have enough money in the equipment replacement fund. So when these garbage trucks went down, the city didn't have a way to repair them. So without having a way to repair them, they had to go to council and ask to buy some new trucks. So a lot of the workers was in there, right? And they was having low morale. They were being blamed for a lot of the stuff. So that's what prompted everybody to have like a kind of like a little mini revolt, right? And go ahead and speak against this guy named Rock Blacketer. He ended up getting ran out of the city, and he ended up going to Galveston. I don't know how he's doing over there, if he's still over there with Galveston, the city of Galveston, doing public works over there. So ever since then, when I've been kind of exposing a lot of these things, exposing, different things on them, right? Exposing what's going on with the city. You start following the chain. You start noticing that, hey, a lot of these council members are belong to this pack. You see how politics work. You see how money controls politics. You see that why is this guy, you have an attorney, former senator, paying these people, right, that's over these packs, paying these council members to go ahead and to catch on the seat, get on, paying them to go ahead and represent them for the council, right? And he's also with the city. This attorney is also working for the city, but he's also in a pack paying these people to go ahead and run, to be on city council. So you notice all these people that's with this particular pack, they're going against the citizens, right? They voted again. They didn't want to really help the citizens as far as like with this worker related issue with it. And the ones that were not with the pack, they were helpful with it. They were helpful. They met with the citizens. They met with the employees and went and got that worker issue taken care of, and also got some equipment for the city employees to go ahead on and do their job properly. So you kind of see a trend. You're kind of following what's on the corruption side of issues. You kind of follow them, and you kind of hear a lot of information as far as like, well, what the city is doing. They're trying to cut back on the employees, and they're trying to contract out more jobs, whatnot. Like with the garbage, they try to contract the solid waste out, try to contract the streets departments out. They also tried to contract water department out. So all of these people that's taking money from this pack, we'll call the guy a boss hog, right? All these people taking money from Boss Hall, we knowing that they're doing things that degrade the city, They're also using these as what one council member calls dope deals, right? Making backroom deals where you can get kickbacks for getting these contracts. So a lot of them is not about city employees don't want to do this or city employees don't want to work. You have an ineffective leadership structure at the city that's kind of built up. Excuse me. That's kind of built off of corruption and getting kickbacks, right, and getting money. So your streets is falling victim to neglect, while somebody's out there getting a kickback for taking about 2 years to get to do blue bonding. You know what I mean? So you get a lot of these people that come in here, underbid the project just to get the project, put in change orders to go ahead and try to get more money to make it look like, hey, well, I came up with a different problem. Now it's going to cost some more money for us to fix. So they didn't cut it. They didn't give a good estimate up front. They cut everybody out by lowballing it and then trying to make up the rest of the money doing change orders. So that's been a game they've been playing with the city's money, right? And you have these people on council that really didn't have a checks and balance system against it. They didn't really have nobody actually, call them to the front. But with Facebook, this kind of made everybody, it's kind of made it kind of almost an even playing field, so to speak, because that what Facebook did and the original PA politics did was actually expose a lot of stuff. With the Facebook format, you can put pictures and type a long paragraph. With Twitter, you're only limited to so many words, and that it's an actual good form where a lot of people's on it. They can go ahead and see and watch, what you put on there. You can kind of report things that's going on. So it's a good avenue to kind of exposing things, right? So with me, I really wasn't afraid of them. I really wasn't afraid of losing a job or kind of really worrying about what anybody's going to say, because I always had this issue like, hey, if they want to get rid of you, might as well go out with a bang. You might as well go out swinging. If you fight till you're about to fall. So that's what I try to live by, right? I can't try not to be scared of what's going to happen, who this is going to happen. Just, if you morally right about something, ethically right, hey, keep on saying it, going down, swinging or not. As long as I'm morally right and ethically right, I feel good about it. And also this platform, man, everybody used to watch it. City managers, council members watch it. They show other council members on what to do, on what's going on, what's being said. A powerful vehicle, right? I started meeting with John Beard and Robert Troy, rest his soul, legendary Robert Troy. We started actually putting out a lot of that information out there, right? I learned a lot of my research techniques from Mr. Troy, because he was one of the ones that when I got on board with them, they put out how the abuse of the P cards. They used to go and get a open records request from the city, then pulled out the number how much money the city hall was using on food. So, legendary Robert Troy brought that out to light, right? And was making some noise by it. So a lot of the media folks that kind of jump on the PA politics site to get a lot of their news when it's going to the when it's on the social media, getting their news for their actual episodes, right? A lot of media personnel and got stories from me, put it on their stuff. Got stories from a group, PA Politics 3. I had to when the first PA Politics started to get corrupt, right? One of them, the admins, they start turning from being an open voice to kind of censoring what they wanted to do. Then somebody had it with PA Politics 2. So then they end up wanting to kind of do it the way they want to do it. So, boom, since I was the main driver in a lot of those issues, in a lot of those groups, I was the one that had the media, know how to, brought different recordings, know how to go into certain venues, record stuff, put it on the internet, put it on YouTube, and put it on Facebook. I created my own group, PA Politics 3. In creating PA Politics 3, I knew that nobody couldn't tell me exactly, what to do on that. I kind of keep it an open vessel for communication. So I already knew that one was going to be the last one, because I wasn't trying to do any type of censoring, and I had to get a place where I didn't want to be censored. So since I was the main driver for some of the information that was going out on there, it made sense for me to have my own thing, right? Now, so ever since then, they wanted to duplicate somebody like myself. They wanted to duplicate a media platform that was on Facebook that had credibility, where they can kind of change the narrative, right? Change the narrative to what they want to change it to. Now you have different groups out there, right? Different groups that tries to emulate what I'm doing, that tries to, but don't really have the knowledge that I have of what's going on in there, because I've been down and with some groups as a watchdog, fighting a lot of the corruption in the system for a long time. Right? I've been doing it at least for 8 years right now. So, being a watchdog, fighting these crooks, calling people out, that I've been doing that for a while. They try to emulate me, right? Like I remember one time when Derek Freeman, I think I was at a Coffee for Your Council member or something. Him and Charlotte Moses was over there. I think it was either that or the Hispanic Forum, but I think it was a Coffee for Your Council member thing, right? And they were kind of giving information, talking about certain, things they want to do. I think I asked a question, something a few years ago, and Derek was like, "Hey, we're gonna make you the new media person." Hey, I already knew it was BS. Of course, it'd have been, if I would have took it, it'd been some type of strings attached to it, right? Some type of strings where I can't say nothing about them, can't speak my mind. I had to do something, or just pretty much lying, just kind of, be unethical. If that was a legit thing, I seen Mr. Charlotte Moses' husband, Mr. Albert Moses, "Hey man, you got your good job, okay," and I kind of figured it was BS, but I already knew it was BS, but I already knew nothing was going to come of that, and especially me, how I like to talk and report a lot of corruption. I can't really just stand by, and if I know that you're screwing over black folks, just kind of, it wouldn't sit easy with me. I can't, just not report it, because I may have a job, right? Or I may have one of these little positions, whatever they're trying to offer me, because ultimately, regardless of what crumbs I get, the system, right, the status quo, these packs got the whole pie. And then I'd get more, not only for myself, for black people, minority people, whatever you want to call it, as a whole, versus selling out for some crumbs, that these packs, status quo, all of these so-called individuals would get, you know what I mean? So I just can't sell out, because I would get more if I fight the system. If you fight the system and win, you get more as a citizen and as a group. And then once you get more as a group, you can always, once you have more resources, you can fight the system better, right? The problem with this is you have a lot of sellouts in this city. They sell out for pennies on a dollar, and then they'll sell out at the same time. Try to stop progress in the group. Try to stop progress, especially with black folks. And that's when I'm going to go ahead and get into a little bit more, on here as I'm going through. I just kind of had to give a little brief history of myself being a watchdog and the history of PA politics, right? Now, you have these bootleg media personalities that don't have a clue. And these fools actually think they help Ingrid Holmes get the win. You have crash dummies on the internet right now bragging and boasting about they candidate won, they candidate this, they candidate that. I mean, these fools so stupid, right? Mind you, you had Holmes, right? 3 goddamn PAC supported this damn person. You had the PAC, right? There's one that's kind of sitting in Port Acres with the ED. Some people call it the EDC group. The EDC pack. You had that pack, give them a lot of money. You had the Carl Parker pack. Unite PA, give them a lot of money and support. You also have this, the fire department, right? Fire department giving money. You can kind of say that the fire department and Carl Parker pack, they trying to create like a super PAC, right? A super PAC to go ahead and, put a lot of money in these people's hands. So this fool, without giving him no money, he think that he was a major part in getting a win. Now this fool have to remember, right? When the election day come, the candidate you was hustling for and you took all that money from, they didn't win. You know what I mean? They didn't get the most votes. Now Holmes ultimately won with the do-over, but that wasn't the people's choice. So I mean, she'd have did better giving Anton Goodall the money. She'd have did better than that than having this guy, these reform junkies doing some media for you. But hey, that's what they choose. So they happy with it. I'm happy with it. Now you had a whole bunch of issues with the voting. You had the COVID. You had the vote being extended out to the election day, then the other runoffs ended up being in December. It was cold, raining. I mean, you had a whole bunch of problems. Holiday season's coming up. Mayor trying to change the days again. So, you have all of these crazy type of things, right? All these things that just wasn't really conducive to voting that second time. Not including, not even to mention that the first time you had to vote, you had to stand them long ass lines for the city and the county, right? So, it is what it is. Now, this goddamn fool has lost his mind so much, right? He threatened the goddamn lady. Now, he threatened this young lady named Yadi Cardenas, right? He talks about the wrath of the show. Now, I got this fool on here, right? Before he was talking about how much of a pro-woman he is, right? We need to have women in the council seat. Women this, women that, women this, women this, women that, women that. All these men up in here. We need to go just vote for them just because they're a woman. All this crazy talk. But let me show you how he really feels about women. Go ahead and take a look at this. Check it out.
You understand? We don't need no undercover people telling you that no, you don't keep people knowing what you or who you really support. Well, let me show you the difference. What I'm saying, see, this is Bash Monday. This is Bash Wednesday. Let me show you. Yadi Cardenas was flim-flamming like she was playing both ends of the mill. That was only to get votes. She did damn good. Look, she got 1,500 votes. But she wasn't for a platform that centered around anything that was conducive to us. Her conduciveness was to the other agenda. See? So now she could do whatever she wants to do. But she will see the wrath of this for talking like she talked. She's going to see the wrath of this particular medium right here, because now it's done got bigger. You done waited until we done got bigger now. You understand? And that's what happens.
Now, do you hear this clown shit here? This is completely utter bullshit, right? And even Holmes should be embarrassed of herself on this. Even Holmes should be embarrassing with being associated with this goddamn junkie, right? This goddamn fool threatened this goddamn lady because she didn't want to commit to a candidate. It happens all the times in politics. But now you ready to bash. Now you ready to have her feel the wrath. Feel the wrath of that bullshit ass show that you on, right? People not watching that damn show. When I was on the show, it was getting numbers, 300, 400, 500 people watching. Now you get 120, 150 tops. 200 on a good day, tops. Especially with you on it, because you can't hold the show. That's why you have trying to get 1 million other people on that joker just to keep that to keep that trash going. Because you know yourself, you cannot keep that bullshit ass show going. You can't do it. Now, let's go ahead and see what he says when he referencing me. He don't call me by my name, right? He calls her by her name. Now let's see how much of this goddamn, how much energy he have for me. Here you go.
I'm getting off of Port Arthur politics, so I won't even be. I don't. If nobody don't tell me nothing that's on that page or what they says, okay, I'm off it. You know, to me, it's a hate page, and I don't do anything for hate. See. I see Rob Cook might be listening. He gonna come on afterward. He gonna come on and say hello to us too. But I don't participate in nothing that said that hating things, man. I don't want to participate in stuff like that. You know what? Hate is not for me. You know, your whole agenda is to see somebody be defeated. Your whole agenda is to say somebody is this and that. I want people to do well.
Now his whole attitude changed, right? When you're dealing with me. When you're dealing with me and pour out the politics, a person that's man enough to fight you back, right? Well, fight you back, verbally, through political, communication and stuff like that. But now, when a man that can fight you back, right, through this internet, this little internet banging shit that we do, the person that can verbally fight you back, you don't want to do it. Now you're not with any type of hate anymore, right? Now you're not with this hate. You don't want to do this hate stuff. But when a woman on this doggone thing, you ready to goddamn make her feel the wrath. Ooh, that's some strong ass talk. That's some strong ass talk, junkie. Only junkies do that, man. Only junkies do that trash when you ready to flex on a woman. Now, Miss Cardenas is a nice person, right? I didn't initially support her when she was going against Mr. Rashard Harris, but talking to her since then, I'm liking her fight a lot more, right? I'm liking that she's a fighter. Some of the things, right? So, she's a fighter. Now I do say, and I do have to admit, she needs to watch out from being perceived as a flip-flopper in politics, because these folks are going to make you pick a side, right? They're going to make you pick a side, and they're going to try to exploit you. Just how you seen what Freeman did, right? Just because, I didn't mean to say the guy's name, but whatever this guy is, right? Just like this crash dummy. Threaten you on there because you didn't agree with him. You didn't agree with his candidate. You didn't support the candidate he was supporting. Now he wants you to feel the wrath. But when a man comes through, this is their real heart. This is their real heart. Now when a man comes up to him, they can equally match him on the crap talking, right? You ready to bash Wednesday a woman, right? You ready to bash a woman. Oh, you ready to feel the wrath. You ready to go Super Saiyan on them. You ready to go Captain America on her, right? You ready to the Avengers mount up on her, right? On a woman. Oh, you ready to just dog down on her. But when a real man like myself say, hey, what's happening, partner? Well, I'm not against nothing negative. Well, I'm getting off this doggone group. I'm getting off the politics page. I don't want none of this stuff. I'm not negative. I'm all about helping folks. No, dude, have that same goddamn energy. Don't be ready to ride on a woman, but you doggone scared to talk crap with this man. You ready to talk crap with a woman? No, talk crap on me. You should have threatened me like that. Make me feel the wrath. What you go do with that bullshit ass goddamn show? I'm ready to feel that wrath. I'm asking for it. Give me that Wrath Crash dummy. Give me that Wrath Junkie. I'm right here. I am right here. Now let me go ahead and bust down more of this this crash dummy trash that we talking about, right? Now this kind of started, right? Me helping this guy out. I thought what he did was kind of cool. He want to go rogue, talking about the city politics and stuff like that. Okay, I said, yeah, I kind of like this. Let me go try to see what this guy talking about. I didn't really know his past or anything like that, right? So we kind of, link up and stuff. Talk about a couple things. I'm helping pick him up from his house and stuff. Or he'll meet me in location, ride on the bike. We'll go talking, shooting the crap, shooting the stuff up. Back then, he had some poor doggone equipment. His tablet, the camera was breaking up and stuff. That's when you used to see all them fuzzy ass videos and stuff like that. You used to have some audio issues with the shit. You can barely hear on there, can't hear. You have all kind of echoing on there. He dropping the phone. It'll, some kind of crazy, stuff going on with the equipment. So, I let him use some of my stuff like my I'm a tripod, from a real DSLR camera. Let him use that, a few times. We used my iPad a few times, recording on some things. And then, next thing I know, he started, begging folks for money and shit, right? So I'm like, hey, man, you probably want to ease up on the cap. Back then, he got some caps. He got some baseball hats. Yeah, some little flimsy ass, cheap baseball, real cheap ass caps. I mean, there was some real soft ones, just like didn't have no form to them or whatever. I think it was some real talk hats, some real cheap ass caps. I used to go around begging folks to buy them caps, right? Like we used to go to the Kelly's Kitchen thing. They was doing some stuff over there. When he was doing that Valero deal, right? Letting people know about that. I'm hearing he used to beg Hugh Kelly for the doggone buying some hats, So I'm like, hey man, probably wanna, not beg these folks so much about that, man. You know what I mean? Okay. I used to be kind of low-key embarrassed, you know what I mean? You at least want to make sure you get your craft down first before you start charging, right? At least get your craft down, your equipment right, then you start charging. Because I was getting hit up in doggone DMs about, hey, I used to support him. Now he done turned on some supporters. They done gave him some money. Where the money at? Well, sir, ma'am, I do apologize. I understand your issues, but I don't know what happened with it. I don't know. I don't know y'all's situation or whatnot. So, people used to complain about he taking the money, not updating equipment and all that stuff. So, I guess he was trying to live off that. So, he originally started that to get back at Mayor Boy T. According to his words, Mayor Boy T, he went down to Houston or somewhere where he seen them cappers give him about a good $5,000 or something like that. He only reported like 1,000, something like that, and didn't even give that man none of it. Now if that's true, he should have gave that guy some money for helping him like that. He should have gave him some money for helping him. Should have gave some money for whatever works, right? But according to him, the mayor didn't give him anything. Didn't give him nothing. Nothing at all. So that's kind of how the reason why he started this stuff, right? When he first started, he used to say the same thing. Needs to be a separation. Needs to be a separation. Old Negro spiritual. I want to hear no old Negro spiritual. He'll go through about a whole week, 2 or 3 episodes saying the same doggone thing. So, I try to go over there and give him a little bit of diversification in what's going on, try to make his, his little show kind of relevant, So, back then he was the only one talking. He had this old nut job producer. I guess some people he called a producer, some little nut job. They used to give him money to help him, tide over, or she'll give him a little money to work, may give him a little money to keep him doing this thing. You know what I mean? So, that's how he used to go around. Hell, shit, he owed me. He still owed me $8 he borrowed from me. He asked for 12, only had 8 cash on me. Gave him that. Then, I ain't asked him about it. I'm like, okay, a couple of days we doing some things and he ain't giving me my money back, or he ain't even mentioned about it. Wasn't the thing about the $8, but it wasn't, that I just needed the $8, have to have it bad, but you always want to get a guy, you can kind of tell people a lot how they are, especially with money, man. Money is loaning people money is a great indicator on their character. Because, that's what, from that moment on right there, I knew that I wasn't going to be doing business with this guy that long, right? Whenever you loan somebody some money and they don't even give it to you back, or they don't even mention it back, they don't even care what amount, $5, $8, $500, or $8,000. It's the simple fact that they think so little of you that they're going to act like you forgot about it, So right there was what, okay, I got an issue with trust issues. So I know I can't get I can't do any real type of business with this guy. Because this guy, is kind of crazy with money. It's kind of fiending for money. You know what I'm saying? It's like some kind of sickness with him, right? So, I'm talking to different people, and they telling me he used to be dependent on drugs, right? Was a junkie. So I knew from back then it never fails. Most of the times when people have them strong chemical dependencies on drugs, no matter how far you've been sober with it, in my opinion, it's something that it seems like it changes your DNA for some reason, right? It seems like it changes your DNA to make you evil, to make you sneaky, to make you kind of conniving. Like you can always be bought with money, or with drugs or something, like you can always relapse. It's something, to me, it puts in your DNA where you really can't trust a person that had a real issue with chemical dependency. That's just my own, personal opinion on it. I'm not saying, got to be right or anything. That's just what I've observed with the people I know that have had strong drug problems. You cannot really trust them with money. And that little small loan was a great indicator of how I see your character is, right? So, moving on from that, he had some other people that would help him, man. He had 2 other people that helped him. Former council member and, another guy. They was both on the Pleasure Island Commission, man. Both of them reputable guys. Did shows on them. Those shows did great numbers, We was trying to help him with the foundation of his stuff, because I'm a firm believer. You got to have that foundation right before you start trying to get the money, getting paid for him. But, to a guy that's his main love is money and not anything else, it's going to be a problem. He's going to have some poor quality product. Now, this guy is so backstabbing and so evil, right? I mean, this guy, he got brought out because he wasn't driving. I don't know what he's driving now, but he wasn't driving. He was riding a bike back in the day, so he had to get a ride out to the Pleasure Island Commission. Talk to, they brought him out there so he can kind of do a little covering on, I think it was some cameras or something they was doing out there where they unveiled. I want to say it's the cameras. I can't remember right offhand. But this guy had nerve enough, after being brought out there by one of the guys, had nerve enough to complain about a dump truck, one-seated dump truck, dumping dirt over there for him to dig. You know how they do like a groundbreaking event or something like that. They just normally use the the shovels, they'll go dig up some dirt like they kind of, just kind of showing like it's a new development, something going on over there. Whether it's groundbreaking or whether it's actually, putting up cameras or whatever they use it as a symbol of, creating something over there. So, this crash dummy didn't like it. He didn't like it. He complained on it. He kept on going forward, right? He kept on going a few weeks for it. So what I'm finding out, this guy is actually using some of this complaining to extort folk on different things, right? Trying to extort different people on money or whatever. So when he broke bad with the two Pleasure Island community people, right? They just washed their hands with him. One of them, they did come back on the show to kind of talk about it, but they washed their really hands with him and stuff right there. They try to come get him the whole show and stuff. It's like, nah, how can you deal with this guy when he turns your back on him? I mean, and that's just how people with drug dependency issues are. You can't really trust them, man. This guy's like a fuck up. He fucks up anything he touch. Anything somebody is doing for him, he's going to fuck it up. And for him, you're going to have to feed him like a baby. For him to be halfway all right, you're going to have to keep feeding him until forever. Because once that money source runs out, he can't really, it's hard for him to get money from other folks. So that's why he's going to resort to that, trying to use that bullshit platform that he got to try to extort. So, anybody that's doing business with him, you just have to watch out for that. Because, it was something that on one of his old episodes I kind of caught wind of. He was like, you see the reason why I'm with Chuck? I can with Chuck and I ain't with you? That, I'm paraphrasing. Because Chuck stopped on by here and tell me, hey, you need a little something? Here you go, a little something for you. Well, I'm like, dude, you a grown motherfucking man. I'd be damned if I'm fucking paying you any type of money to goddamn be my friend. Motherfucker, I'm helping you out. Your equipment broke. You riding on a motherfucking bike. You know what I'm saying? You own some old poverty ass shit. I'm helping you the fuck out. I'm helping you out because I like what you're doing, and you kind of motivated me to get back into more of the videos, the podcast, the interview type stuff. Man, I've been doing this shit before you. And to say, you got a big order, that's stupid. Shut up. You sound stupid. I've been doing this for 8 years, partner. Breaking stuff all on the news. Newspaper pulling my stuff. News pulling my stuff. Talking to all these goddamn media folks. They pulling my goddamn stuff. So nobody ain't pulled your shit yet. Nobody ain't pulled now a piece of work that you've done and put it on the air. So nobody's citing your goddamn shit on the goddamn air. So shut up, man. Just shut up. Shut the hell up. So yeah, man, you got to watch out for these people, man. With these drug dependencies and stuff. They issue is with money, man. They love is money. So they'll do anything to get it, man. Just like they'll do anything to get these drugs, they'll do anything to get this money. That'll be to cross you out. So, any of them candidates that's dealing money, you got your baby. You got your grown baby. You're going to have to feed now. Now, how in the hell I'm looking like keep asking you need something? When the fuck you going to ask if I need something? What use are you if I have to keep giving you fucking money like a damn child for you to be all right? The fuck kind of man is that, huh? You got me fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You keep your broke ass over there with the mother crazy ass, sellout ass council members, sellout ass packed folks over there. You keep your begging ass over there. I don't need you over here. Shit, you begging me more than my goddamn wife or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no goddamn sense. A grown man should be on the goddamn video saying, the reason why I like Chuck, the reason why I like so-and-so, because they come ask me if I need anything, man. They come say, man, if you need it, I got it. fuck that goddamn sound. But man, you got to watch out for these, man. You got to watch out for these nuts. You got to watch out for these nuts, man. He's like a cancer. He turns on everybody that helps him, so just watch out for that. And I also kind of knew with the police interview, right? We did an interview with the emergency management crew over there at the police station. You know, when I'm doing a type of interview, I like a certain type of quality, right? Now, he's not a goddamn cameraman. He's not a media person, right? So he was supposed to be the face. I'm supposed to be the one that actually asks the question, does the interviewing and stuff, right? That's kind of how I figured that my little role in it was like to make him look good. I'm more of a background type of person. I'm more of a voice. Then you don't really have to see me on there. I don't have to be the visual aspect in the thing. He could be the visual aspect. Me, I'm more trying to make sure the quality is fine, make sure everything is kind of tweaked right, make sure, you have a good professionalism about it. But when you have somebody that kind of thinks it's all about him, right? It's selfish. And then, I told him about this, right? Like it was me, him and Reg, right? Let's say me, him, and Reg. Doing the interview with the police department. And the guy, I can't think his name, but the emergency management operator, emergency management director, I can't think his name. Name just kind of missed me right now. Cool guy, great guy, right? Not the one that's on there right now, the black guy, I can't think his damn name. But when he was talking with Reg, Reg was saying, he gonna give it back to Dave, this and that, and this crash dummy was like, no, bring it back to me. And you can kind of hear that on the doggone audio. So I'm like, dude, if you have a problem with me or something like that, don't say that shit while we doing the interview where we can hear all this shit in the background, right? Now it makes us look kind of stupid. We goddamn arguing about this shit, we interviewing them. So I didn't tell him that shit, you know what I mean? Because he do all kind of unprofessional shit. He just working about a motherfucker that just don't give a, they just give a fuck about the money and don't care about their damn quality. Now you can already see on this goddamn show, dropping the phone, audio bad, he talking, people talking, he talking over them. Now, one of them shows recently, this motherfucker answering the goddamn phone. This fool is on the phone talking while his goddamn co-host, producer, whatever the fuck that crazy bitch name is, right? She on the motherfucker trying to say some dumbass shit. He on the goddamn phone, head on the motherfucking screen. You can see him talking. He don't get up, get out the way. He don't mute his mic. The fool is talking on the goddamn phone while he on the goddamn live. I'm like, it's all kind of shit like that. Well, it's like, man, like I ain't gonna be fucking with this guy too much longer. So that's what made me get on my own podcast. Instead of doing my own Facebook Live, I wanted more of a podcast where you can control the quality of the audio, right? I just need, now with this, I already had a lot of good, equipment at home and stuff like that because I used to go to the Breeze and record a lot of the, the shows up there and put it on the internet, right? So, I already knew some stuff about the audio, the mic quality and things like that. So went ahead and did the podcast. I said I wanted to do that route. I like that route. You just listen to what I'm saying. Don't have any type of visual distraction. That's just what I like to do. I wanted more of the talking, radio style communication where you just listen to what I'm saying. So that's what made me start the PA Political Revolution podcast, right? And then we was kind of still working a little bit in conjunction with that bullshit ass live shit he was doing. So I forgot what actually got us to stop working together, but it was just, different stuff. I'm working, I'm doing different type shit. And then it was something, I can't even remember what actually happened, but it just that, end up he started talking trash one day, just like he always do to everybody. So, I can't remember exactly what actually happened, but it had to be some type of trash he talked. or whatnot, because he burns his bridges everywhere he goes. Everywhere he burns his bridges. It's just a matter of time before he burned his bridges with some of these people that's on council or whatnot, or some of these people he think he helped. Oh, this fool's so stupid. He think he actually helped Joe Biden get the win. Boy, these people is crazy. That's junkie talk, man. Dude, you gotta understand, people know you are a junkie. They don't trust you. They just happy because you doing something that's looking like it's positive. You doing something like you not doing drugs. That's the only reason why people is fucking with you. It's not that you are so much likable and all this and that. It's just you not on drugs, stealing from their motherfucking ass. That's why they fucking fuck with you. That's why they like your lip. They say, hey, okay, that's good. Such and such doing this and that. He not on this goddamn pipe. He not over here trying to steal shit from over here. He not going to jail on this. That's why they liked you. That's why they try to support the little things you're doing. That's why they give you money. Hell, they trying to keep you off that stuff. But hell, you take that shit to a different level. You think everybody's supposed to keep footing your damn bill, man. Come on, when you go be a fucking man and take care of your goddamn self. Shit. Begging everybody for something, man. That's why I mess with Chuck. He come over here and ask me if I need anything. He come over here and drop me a few dollars. Shit, motherfucker, they ain't got to pay you to be a damn friend. You crazy. Crazy as cat shit. Now, from that police interview, you kind of know what's going on downhill. Now, the reason why these folks are here, right now, they take these former junkies, drug addicts, crooks, criminals, hot chick, writing people, and try to create a new image of them, right? Because they know with any kind of criminal issue, drug issues, they already have something in their back pocket. They have a short leash that they can pull, right? And they use these people, even, him and this psycho-ass so-called producer, whatever the hell she do with it, she just give them money, basically. Person that just feeding them, giving them money, taking care of them, really, just to be named a part of the show. She just, they just follow each other, just crash dummies. That's really all they do. Now, the reason why they get these people and create them, they use them as agents of confusion, and they're anti-black, right? So you think that's why they have to have 1 million. That's why, if you notice him, he trying to interview every goddamn body to get on this show. When he was at the polls, he was forcing people to try to host the show. Because people like him needs credibility. He doesn't have any credibility. They all know he's a junkie, right? So the more people you can get on the show, it makes you look like you know something, but you don't really know nothing. You don't really know anything to ask any type of questions. Because you're a junkie, right? And you're doing this for all the wrong reasons. So, you can't get over that. You can't get over the fact that you don't have the knowledge to make this thing work, buddy. That's why you try to get everybody and their mama to have a show, is to bring your shit up. Because you can't run that show your damn self, right? And that's the problem. You think everybody go tow the boat for you. And you have to put in the goddamn work to do the damn boat. You think you just gonna have everybody work and you go get all the money. Now you say you got a tax number, right? Guarantee your ass within a year, you so grieving for damn money, you go goddamn shit. You could be on the motherfucker something. I guarantee they put a freeze in your goddamn bank account until you go pay them sales tax everywhere. Probably be less than years. Probably what the first 3 months. First 3 months, they go freeze your doggone bank account, everything with your Social Security on until you pay them goddamn taxes. Now, it'd be funny to see how that shit go. And have you ever met a motherfucker that's just talking about it? Really go do this, you go do that, you go do this, you go do that, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna have a show around the world. I'm gonna have a show in China. I'm gonna have a show in Egypt. I'm gonna show in Afghanistan. All these crazy dreams. But when you gonna start doing it? When you gonna start doing it? Because the only thing I see is the same bullshit ass show. The only show that gets you some views is the barbershop show. Is because you not hosting it. There's somebody else hosting. Any show that you do, anything that you do does not get them sales. You have to have other people to get not sales. To have other people to get views on them. You yourself is boring, buddy. Nobody wants to see you. You can't do nothing with yourself, right? That's your what? You lucky. You lucky. They may have another election. I think the mayor's one probably coming up early next year, if I'm not mistaken. But hell, just have another drought in politics. That show will be over because you can't sustain shit else. So yeah, man, going back to the real purpose of these clowns, right? These crash dummies. They are anti-black and they're used by whites to talk shit on black folk, right? They're used to talk shit on black men and black folks really in general. And they're used to promote the narrative that black folk can't run this city. Black folks are the problem with PA. Not white folks, it's black folks. Now let's go ahead and listen to this from the other crash dummy producer. This crash dummy producer, right? Just listen with the dumb shit she has to say. Check this trash out.
State, when this city was run by all white, okay? Citizens of Port Arthur bitched, complained. I mean, just went all dumbfounded on the fact that this town was being run by men or white men. Well, white folks said, you got it. You can have it. You want it? Here you go. Well, so look at what we've done as blacks running this town. And I'm not going to say, I don't want anybody coming back to me and saying that I'm against blacks. No, I'm not. I'm black. Look at my skin color, okay? I can't get no blacker than I already am unless I sit out in the sun. Now, with that in mind, when the city was being controlled by all whites, we act like that's where, okay, so to speak, Bay Lewis want to bring his thing in about the civil rights. Okay, we've passed that. Okay, it's overdone with. We've grown. All right, the whites. We've had white flight. Okay, in the city of they're gone. We have
that's real talk.
All right. So look at what the blacks have done to this city. They gave it to us. All right, and we should have done better. We should have done better. And I'm not against any race being on city council at all because I've been told that I was racist. Okay? Me?
And this dumbass clown son of a bitch, right? This stupid motherfucker then said, white folks gave us this. Here, you can have it. We should have done something better. You dumb motherfucker, right? Now, this is just proof, right? This is just proof that these are nothing but shills, man. These are nothing but goddamn drones. Uncle Tom sellout ass drones, Sambo ass drones. That's done nothing but just to hurt black folk, impede black progress, right? Now, if you also look at my Facebook profile, I posted up a book. A page from a Black History reader. Right, it's about Dr. Claude Anderson. Now it kind of gives you a lot of information on here with the what happened to black cities, right? I'm gonna just go through a couple of underlined verses I have that are underlined. I posted. When black elected officials inherited control of urban cities amid white flight to the suburbs, the urban centers began to deteriorate because of scorched earth policies. Fleeing whites took everything they owned and controlled out of cities. Black mayors and council members, right? I put that in quotations, inherited the cities but not the financial resources. Understand, We didn't inherit the financial resources. All but the first generation of black mayors also lacked the vision to use the opportunity to build those cities into strong black competitive economics. Now, with that being said, right? Hold on for a minute. I got to step on for a minute. Hold on, right? Yes, here we go again. Sorry about that. Had to take an important phone call right there. Had to take an important phone call. See, I'm going to pause the show, get back to you. I'm not going to talk while I'm on the phone. I'm not going to talk to you while I'm going live, right? Screw up the whole show, especially if somebody else talking. So, hey, there's one kind of courtesy you can expect over here. I'm not going to interrupt the show with no nonsense. Now, back what I was getting to, right? This passage I was reading from this book called A Black History Reader from Dr. Claude Anderson. Now, the next portion of this book that I had highlighted, right? Well, this page I had highlighted, it says, black mayors did not destroy the urban centers. The white response to integration did the trick. Now, and also one other portion I want to put on there. Well, a couple other more portions. They followed the white middle class into the suburbs that surrounded the major urban cities. The exodus of the black middle class left the black masses leaderless, divided, and incapable of competing with other endless influx of ethnic immigrants. Now, the last part I got underlined is, these social forces will make black Americans a minority underclass in that we were once majority black urban centers. Basically, me reading those whole clips has a little bit better context with the whole page, reading the whole page, but for time purposes, I didn't want to read the whole page on there. Is that basically that white flight and the removal of the resources which has the issues in the cities we have, like Port Arthur, right? You have places like Detroit, maybe Chicago, DC, but I know for sure Port Arthur, this is exactly what happened. You have the gentrification of the black neighborhoods on the west side, white flight, they took everything, but they keep the contracts, they keep the jobs with the refineries, so black folks don't have that many resources to go ahead, put their money together, start businesses, start building, this thing and doing the infrastructure. And also with Port Arthur, when we had annexed these other cities like Lakeview, with Pear Ridge, Griffin Park, Sabine, we had to subsidize their infrastructure, right? We had to go ahead and fix the infrastructure, which costs a great deal to the city and not really receiving a lot of money from it. And some say that's how we got upside down in with a lot of the infrastructure issues and the money issues, because annexing those other cities, we were taking on those problems. And also, some of them were trying to get those annexed properties to pay the low tax rate, while other folks, in Port Arthur were paying the normal high rate. So, it's a whole lot of levels to the oppression of black folks that we have in the city, right? There's a whole lot of levels to it. White supremacy is a beast. These gentrification of black neighborhoods is real life issues, right? So, but you have trolls and you have paid people like these crash dummies to come in and try to undermine all of that, right? They try to undermine that, not knowing a damn thing what they saying. They come and talk to you like they fucking know what the fuck they talking about, but they don't know shit. They don't know a goddamn thing. Pardon my French, to out of here. I just have to go ahead and release on this, man. I just have to release on this because these clowns are fooling the masses, and that's why I had to put that passage on there from that book, A Black American History, a Black History Reader, right, from Dr. Claude Anderson, up there to put everything in retrospect, what needs to have an urban black city like Port Arthur to thrive, and what's being done to keep it in shackles, right? This thing didn't stop with the representation, right? There's still games being played and things that are still done to hold black progress back, right? But this time they're just using black faces to do it. That's the only thing that's different to this, man. We have to watch out for this. We have to watch out for this. We have to understand the issues. And if y'all out there listening to goddamn junkies, man, this is not going to help anybody. So you have to understand what the issues are in the city and how we get there. And listen to these two damn jabberjaw looking clowns. It's not going to help you, right? Oh, and another issue I want to goddamn speak on. Now, I didn't hear this. I'm kind of getting word from this. One of these dumbass, bad weave ass fucking producers talking about goddamn suing me for some shit that I said. Bitch, I wish you motherfucking would try to sue me, you dog face asshole. But instead of goddamn suing me, you need to go sue the motherfucker that pistol whip your goddamn ass. That's what you goddamn sue. You go sue the motherfucker that pistol whip your motherfucking ass. Then you come talking to goddamn about suing fucking me. Fuck you and that goddamn attorney that you try to get. Think you can do it? Fuck all y'all. So, on that note, I apologize for all this stuff here to my normal listeners. I just had to go left on this one because you have these trolls, agents against black progress in the black community. And yeah, it looks like, let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Wanted to speak on that. And that's it. Going to go ahead and wrap this up. And, until the next time, peace.